Hello, everyone. My name is Gabrielle, and I am the Deputy Director of Learning and Engagement at NOMA. I am thrilled to be joined today with Edward Spots, who is a New Orleans-based choreographer, dancer, performer, and I had the great pleasure of collaborating with Edward in 2019 around the Bodies of Knowledge exhibition. Thanks for joining us today, Edward.
Thank you for having me. It's so nice to see you.
Well, as I just mentioned, in 2019, you were part of the Bodies of Knowledge exhibition at NOMA. And as part of that show, we commissioned you to create an original performance, an original dance to open the exhibition. And ultimately, that was called Black Magic. And so I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about that project.
Of course. So Black Magic for me was so personal because it was a chance that I could finally kind of give a sense of what it was like for me to be a Black artist growing up in America, if not showcase the things that a Black male would go through, which is Black suffering, Black anger, Black beauty, Black love, and Black joy. And I wanted to just keep it to those sections so that I can just showcase in the museum almost a tapestry of a snippet of these emotions.
That's amazing. It was an incredible piece, and I think we should mention that you and I originally met through Garrett Bradley, who also has or had a work, America, in the exhibition. Can you talk a little bit about how you and Garrett knew each other?
Yes, Garrett Bradley has been the blessing to my life. It really was a magical moment. How we came about. You know, first it was my roommate saying, "Hey, I think you'd be great for this casting where they're looking for a guy to portray Black joy." And then my friend Donna, who ended up being my co-star, saying, "Hey, I think you need to go into this casting for this film called America, where you need this male guy to play Adam, who plays this ideal figure of a male Black man in America." And I'm like, "What?" And so, you know, and I go into this casting called Second Line Stages, and I see this team of professionals, Garrett Bradley and Lauren Domino, and they say, "Hey, we want you to play Adam in this, you know, big production of this film." And I think for me, it was just like, I won the film lottery ticket. Next thing you know, I'm in Hollywood filming on 35mm film and doing this great, you know, and ironically enough, I didn't have any lines. It was all, you know, acting through my body and face. And it was a blessing, and the ending results of the movie is incredible. It's watching America is like watching a dream of that my ancestors could have of the future. It's you can feel it almost watching it. You feel like it didn't happen, but it has happened, and we are living in this beautiful tapestry in this free Black world. But America really connects the dots with cinematography and how cinematography plays a huge part in how we think of the world today. And Garrett is an incredible artist who is so woke and so knowledgeable, and she, you know, she's that person that will, I think, spend so much time on every detail of what people see, and it was an honor to work with her. I think if anything, she's influenced me with my creative process when I started to choreograph Black Magic, just by watching her on set filming with America.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good question, is thinking about those two works that you were involved in the exhibition, America, the film by Garrett Bradley, and then the piece that you choreographed and danced in, Black Magic. How do those two pieces relate?
It's totally funny because it's like dance, acted, choreographed.
You're very talented.
But hearing you say that, they all relate, you know, because Bodies of Knowledge feels like, even though we all had these different vessels, I guess, we all were kind of trying to say the same thing. You know, and no matter what you think, if you look around at all those exhibits, everyone's getting to the same conclusion. And it's this awareness of what's happening. It's in America, awareness. You know, with Menon Ballet, awareness. It's you know, and I forget the you know, but a lot of the work had to do with awareness and making people see something. And I thought it all relates. You know, from my Black Magic to you know, Menon Ballet. We it's funny how art. Someone may hate me for saying this, but true art really does say something political. Now, you know, you look at the Mona Lisa and you think, you know, this wasn't meant to be political. But you know, but then you look at, you know, the weaving, how it could have been, you know, because the Mona Lisa makes a huge statement in its value. And I think that Black magic in America, yeah, of course, the obvious, we're both focusing on Black art, right? You know, Black people's lives. But I think the unobvious is trying to get people to see it through a different lens. So in Garrett's way, she wanted to show it through 35mm film in this Hollywood cinematic way that when you see it, you kind of go, oh, just simply because it's on 35mm film and you're breathtaking because, you know, of course she pieced together these perfect images that you just wouldn't see, you know. And I think for me, you know, as a Black person, when I saw it, I was just so excited to see it in that lens. I was like, wow, we look timeless. You know what I mean? Like, and for me in my work in Black magic, the different lens was movement. You know, so people everywhere have seen Black suffering. People everywhere have seen the struggles. But I think as an artist, you try to get them to see it through a different lens. To almost make them say, yeah, this is wrong. Or yeah, oh, they are beautiful. You know, and I think that's what art does. It's every medium is trying to entice the viewer to look at it through a different lens, if not see it the way I see it. You know, when you look at America, you see Garrett's eye of how she views herself in the world and how the angle she picks, the people she's looked and how she picks it up. And in Black magic, you saw how I viewed, you know, there's literally a processional runway of fashion as we go into, you know, so you get in, you view it from a different lens. So even though Black magic was this choreographic piece and America was a film, and they both had the obvious points, focusing on Black suffering, if not beauty and love, but each one had a different lens. And if, let's say you saw Black magic that day, and you didn't get really moved, you just saw dancers and young dancers. But then when you saw, then let's say you traveled into another part of the museum and you saw the film, and you were moved because that lens worked. And I think, you know, that's what's great about art, you know, and that's why it's so subjective, you know, but it does have a goal and a purpose. And maybe she didn't get suffering from mine, but when she went and saw America, she got suffering. Or maybe she went and saw Menon Ballet, she got. And so I think we all had the same vision, right? We all had the awareness and trying to say something. But through our different lenses that day, I think that's what made the museum an experience.
Let's talk about the process. You had an amazing group of collaborators on that project, several young people from the dance studio Dancing Grounds here in New Orleans.
Yes.
And also, I think it's important to mention how, you know, you yourself are born and raised in New Orleans. You've traveled all over the world as a professional dancer with Alvin Ailey and many other productions. But how does that sort of New Orleans experience and working with New Orleans youth dancers come into play with the Black magic piece?
You know, I keep a treasure chest of all my old programs and letters and things from my whole life since I started dance. And New Orleans is rich, just rich in food, culture, music, dance. It's, you know, I could spend all day telling you all the things that I was involved in New Orleans. But it's funny being an adult now, coming back to New Orleans and realizing that, yeah, you did get involved in dance because there was all these programs around you. Yeah, you did get to go to this place because another person in the city helped you. Yeah, you did get to do this because there was this tribe of people pushing you to do this. And I think being from New Orleans, it is like, that's the New Orleans way. The New Orleans way is, if you see it, do something. If you can help, help. If you can give, give. And I think because there's this top layer of people that sense the rich artistry here, that there's also a huge group of people that are trying to make sure resources are getting to the kids and things like that. So one, being from New Orleans, I was a product of all the programs that the city had to offer when it came to the arts. And two, getting a chance to be a part of the team of people that continues that work feels like a full circle. So working with Dancing Grounds, I was them. I am them. They are me. And I kept trying to preach that to them. I mean, they felt some disconnect in the beginning because, I lived away. So, I don't have the same energy or aura that screams, I'm you, but I wish they knew how much I was them and, they are me. And I think it's beautiful when a kid can go from being a product of these outreach programs to being a person that's helping give back to outreach. If not, being a part of the mission to continue that thing that's happening. Because to say that it's, at first I would say it's needed, but it isn't really, in the sense that you should just join the team of the people that are doing it. Like, I am a product of great programs like Northern Nova and places like NOMA. I think I even did the NOMA summer camp a long time. I was a kid.
On the website.
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
I was a kid that got what the city had to offer. So to be on the other end and work with the group of kids that are just like me from the city and young professionals, it feels 360. If not, I feel old too.
Well, I guess to end our conversation, my last question for you is, almost a year out from the performance and the project, my favorite memory and experience was the performance itself, and just seeing so many incredible people coming together. Seeing the Great Hall lined with families and people from every neighborhood in New Orleans showing up to the museum. What is your reflection a year out? What was your favorite part of the experience?
It had to be that. I think so before the doors opened to the museum, I was hidden in a closet because I didn't want someone to see me and start talking, because they're just being nice and saying, "Hey, Edward, we're excited." So I want to be hidden, but that means I couldn't see how many people would end up showing up to this event at the museum. And so I'm in the closet and I'm just nervous, like Jesus. And I could hear, I'm like a lot of people out, and I'm here. And then I kind of cracked the door open to see it. I'm like, oh Lord, there's a lot of people blocking the door. So I'm thinking maybe they pushed them all to the side. And so there's a moment where, it gets to the point in the show where it's time for my part, where I have to come out. And I come out and I'm looking, and I'm so taken back by the amount of people that are there. I am literally like, I forgot I was about to. And so, and I remember I go to take my first jump, and I get so nervous because I just didn't think this was gonna be a thing. Like, I mean, I knew it was gonna be a big deal, but I just, being an artist, you get so used to being let down with the people that respond to come into performances that you kind of just hope for the best. Even if there's one person in the audience, you're gonna, give it your best. But to see from the ceiling and to the floor, and that no matter where I looked, there was an audience, I was blown away. And I am grateful that I could be a part of a group effort to get people to show up to the museum to see what all the artists have done. And it's hard. I half those people, I didn't even know they knew about it. You know, I didn't even know. One person came from New York, and I was just like, "Why are you here?" You know, and so I was blown away by the response as well. I think because that's what you want, right? It makes all that work so much worth it. Even though it's one show, that one show means a lot. And I think those one shows and those one magical productions spark a thing in the world. I think, you know, that day people left and spread that energy from that day. And so it reached even more people, right? Because they're going to carry that vibe and energy somewhere else. And so, yeah, I was excited by the response as well. And I'm so thankful for that day.
Well, we're certainly thankful for that day. I know personally, I will never forget collaborating on the project, and I hope that you and I have many opportunities to collaborate in the future. I would be remiss not to tell people how they can see the Black Magic show. So it is on NOMA's YouTube page. People can watch an excerpt, a short excerpt, or they can watch the full duration. Edward, you are dancing all over New Orleans. You're part of the Marigny Ballet Company. Where can folks see you dance in the near future?
Right, because COVID-19, right? So you know, that's the thing about the arts world. There's another thing I forgot I was going to say is that artists everywhere are in this place where, you know, the future is just so unclear. Whether, like me, I have my own company, Magnolia Dance, that is taking a steal because, you know, the city. And so I'm hoping that you will be able to see me live performing next online at magnoliadance.co, April 27th. It would just be a live stream of me performing, free for anyone to watch. But when I'm going to perform live next, I was supposed to be in the New Orleans Opera and performing Yardbird, but it's canceled, unfortunately. So actually, this is a very, for me, it's a very sad moment because I'm used to performing all the time.
I know.
You know, all the productions have just stopped. So I will keep you guys updated. And if anything, just stay connected with the arts and stay doing, you know, what you can do to support the arts to everyone out there, because artists are definitely in need of creativity outlets, even if it's, you know, Zoom classes and things like that, just support the arts as much as possible. But thank you so much, Gabrielle, for this. This was awesome.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone out there, for joining us. And Edward, I look forward to seeing you soon, in person, hopefully.
Yes. Yes.